rebate going on now.
Disturbing videos taken by the Center for Medical Progress alleging that Planned Parenthood is breaking the law by selling fetal parts, i.e. baby parts such as hearts, liver, lungs, just to name a few. Now look, no matter where you stand on the pro-life, pro-choice spectrum, the callousness of the people in these videos discussing the sale of baby parts over lunch, by the way, should be disturbing to all of us, let alone she's allegedly also breaking the law. Now, I'm about to show you a clip of a discussion over lunch with Planned Parenthood executive Dr. Mary Gatter, and I want to warn you, I just, before I play this clip, it is very, very disturbing. So if you've got kids in the room, please ask them to leave the room before I play this clip. Here it is. This is Dr. Gatter allegedly negotiating the sale of baby parts so she can go buy herself a fancy sports car. Roll the tape.
And then if we want to pursue this mutually, I'll mention this to Ian in terms of how he feels about using a less crunchy technique to get more whole specimens. It's been years since I've talked about compensation, so let me just figure out what others are getting, and if this is in the ballpark, then that's fine. If it's still low, then we can talk about it.
You would. Which would you?
I want a Lamborghini. I said I want a Lamborghini.
Congressman, I've been trying to pay attention to this story, but it's hard for me to stomach it, even sit through, watch, and read through this stuff. Less crunchy, laughs about getting a Lamborghini for selling baby parts. What say you, sir?
Chris, it's hard for me. I've watched it a couple of times. It's hard for me to listen to it this way, and I can't even see the video. Do you remember when the pro-choice movement's slogan was abortion should be rare and safe? Chris, it's an industry. It is a callous, and these videos show you just how very, very dark our world has become in many respects. And when I first saw the videos, I said, I think it was on a radio show or something, I said, you know what, even pro-choice people have their stomachs churning to think that this is really what it's come to. This is what the abortion industry is all about. Taking human life. They describe in one of the videos how they crushed the head at one end and crushed the bottom in order to leave the heart and the liver intact because they're in such high demand in the marketplace. And then they claim that these are highly edited and it's taken out of context while she sips her wine and enjoys her meal, talking about this disgusting stuff. What bothers me, Chris, is the pro-choice community hasn't condemned this at all. Planned Parenthood apologized for the tone. I mean, come on, people. It is time for people to stand up. And I'm sorry if I sound upset. It's because I'm upset.
And you should be.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Yeah, Dietrich Bonhoeffer said to be silent in the face of evil is evil itself. I'm not going to participate and be complicit in this.
I'm not advocating this. I'm going to play devil's advocate with you, sir. In this standpoint, I think you would agree that, hey, life is life, and many people that are, I don't even want to use the word proponent for this video, but would say, hey, look, here's what's going on here. This is about medical research to utilize fetal parts to eventually or essentially or potentially save other people's lives. If and in fact that's true, then isn't life life?
Take my heart. Take mine. For crying out loud, leave an innocent child's heart alone.
Well said. And again, I'm not advocating it. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and give you a chance to respond. So what I want to know from you is, so what are you going to do about this? Obviously, a lot of conversation about not funding Planned Parenthood. So two things. One is, how much money does Planned Parenthood get from the taxpayer each year? Number two, what are you going to do to stop it?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to the one question is how much they get, but they get way too much because one penny is too much. I've voted consistently, and the House has oftentimes defunded Planned Parenthood in our appropriations bills. Obviously, it oftentimes gets put back in, either in the Senate or most of the time our appropriations bills go nowhere because the Senate doesn't take up appropriations bills, and we end up with some goofy CR, continuing resolution, which means business as usual. I will say this, that if there is a silver lining in all of this, if some good can come of this, and I pray that it can, this revelation will make it very difficult for defenders of Planned Parenthood to continue to fight for and vote for their funding. So we hope that this gives us the type of momentum now. We have a hearing in Energy and Commerce Committee coming up shortly where we have requested the doctors that appeared in that first video So far, Planned Parenthood has declined. We'll subpoena her if we have to. She can leave her red wine at the restaurant, frankly, and come, without that. But we want to get to the bottom of it, reveal as much as we can, and reveal more, and hopefully gain some support for defunding this
just to show you
awful organization.
Politicized this has become. You've got Representative Nancy Pelosi saying Planned Parenthood has said they've done nothing illegal. In fact, there should be an investigation for the Center for Medical Progress. She also said Planned Parenthood has as its top priority women's health. Any accuracy to what she said?
No. First of all, what they've done is illegal. Selling body parts is, in fact, illegal. And I know in San Francisco, doing illegal things is no big deal. Look at Katie's situation, where an innocent young woman is killed by an illegal immigrant because San Francisco decided they get to be a safe harbor for violent criminals. But the fact of the matter is that it is illegal. And secondly, I think Nancy Pelosi demonstrates just how low the Democratic Party has sunk in this country.
Well, speaking of that,
I'm glad that it's being revealed.
Speaking of that, Congressman Cramer, I'm going to give you the last word on this, and that is about obviously the shooting that took place in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now they say, hey, we're still not going to arm our armed service men and women. We're still not going to arm them at recruiting centers. And then it takes our president, 5.5, 6 days to lower the flag, but he did it seconds after Whitney Houston's death. You get the last word, sir.
Well, first of all, thank you, Speaker John Boehner, for shaming the president into doing what should have been instinctive in the first place. We lowered our flags in the Capitol and the Capitol complex and shamed the president of the United States into doing it. Secondly, the idea that we would trust these men and women, these Marines and sailors and the other service members with the freedom of the world, but we don't trust them with a sidearm to defend themselves. I think it demonstrates just how very, very confused this president is about who the enemies of liberty are. Tells you how confused he is about radical Islam.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing. You've got a commander-in-chief that's going to step in front of the people and talk about a strategy against ISIS and stands in front of the American people and says, ISIS is not Islamic. Don't treat me like a rube. And now you've got the FBI director saying that they are more of an attack than Al-Qaeda is. And by the way, he's also said, we've got no strategy to defeat these people. It is an absolute joke, and I'm deeply disturbed by it.
And by the way, the greatest threat to our national defense, of course, is climate change. Let's not forget.
Come on. Congressman Kevin Cramer, I really, really appreciate your time, sir. I look forward to seeing you again soon, okay?
My pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity, Chris.
Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to get to the top 3 trending talkers of the day. Going to have some fun with this to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, if you will. Want to invite you to become part of the 630 Point of View community. Head to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/630POV.